Thank you all so much for joining us for the Graduate Student Healthcare Information Session Workshop. Joining us today are Ellen Bolt, Teresa Afos, and Courtney Buller. They are going to be discussing graduate student health insurance and just providing you with an overview of services that are available to you and answering any questions you might have. So I'm going to hand it over to them to get us started.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Teresa Afos. I'm a finance manager over at the Student Wellness at UNLV. And we just want to give you a presentation briefly of the services offered, as well as information on the student health insurance. And then we'll be open for questions after. And like Navia said, you can just go ahead and put in the chat as well. So student wellness consists of health services, counseling, health education, student conduct, the Care Center, Disability Resource Center, and our support team. Okay, and our collective goal is to help you achieve wellness, and we try to take a balanced, holistic approach to health and wellness. The staff are dedicated to helping you achieve this balanced approach, and we promote physical, emotional, spiritual, social, occupational, environmental, and intellectual well-being. We do have some information here regarding COVID-19, and you can also get COVID testing done at the facility at the moment. So if you are interested, when you get this, the links are there, but you can also just call our clinic and we can go ahead and get the testing set up for you. So accessing the wellness centers, wellness services is covered by the student health fee. It is a mandatory fee that all matriculating students are charged in their tuition part of the fees, and it grants you access to the health center, counseling, the care center, which is the Campus Anti-Violence Advocacy Resource and Empowerment Center, Rebel Wellness Zone, and other special programs and services. And I'm gonna hand it over to Ellen, and she's gonna first discuss the student health insurance.
So are you going to advance that slide? Okay, there it is. Okay, student health insurance, that's a program that we have here at UNLV. All graduate students are required to show that they are insured as a condition of their enrollment. So what we do here, it's actually what almost all universities do, is they charge the health insurance fee to your My UNLV account at the fall and spring semester. And then you can either keep it because it's a wonderful plan, or if you have your own and don't need it, there's a process to waive out. And that can be cumbersome for some, especially for the first time. And that's kind of what one of my roles is at the university, is to help students with any kind of issues they may have, either waiving or once they get the insurance, if they have problems with the insurance itself or finding their card, doing all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd just bring up the two major websites that relate to the insurance plan, because everything you pretty much need to know is on those two sites. There are several entities here involved. There's UNLV, obviously. There's we have an enrollment company called AHP, Academic Health Plan. And then there's Wellfleet, who is the insurance company. And then when you go to find a provider, if you're going out of the UNLV system and you need to find someone in the network, you're going to go through Cigna. So that also can be kind of confusing because there's 4 entities involved. So the first one I'm going to take you towards is Wellfleet, because they are the insurance company. They're the ones that have provided the benefits in the plan. They're the ones that pay the bills when you submit claims. So they are your primary for any kind of insurance questions. So I'm gonna hopefully go there. Yeah, if you could just click on it, I can explain it from there. My whole toolbar went sideways, literally. So I thought I was going to be clicking from this slide. My bad.
Okay, so this is the Wellfleet website. When you go in, and then you want to type in UNLV here in the search, and you would select the school. Go ahead, Alan.
That's not coming up on the page. There it
And then
is.
here,
Okay.
these are the
So
two areas that you most likely will be using on this site.
right, there's the middle and the right hand one. The first one on the left, enroll, you'll never use that. The second one is discover your benefits, and slide down just a little bit to the next panel. You can see a lot of things about the plan, including the brochures that have the plan documents on there. They have the second choice is to okay, the second choice is to create a username and ID, and that way you can get in and get a copy of your card. So this again is not pulling up on your screenshot here. So
Yeah, so these are your options when you go to this page. So here again, you have to create an account, and then you can get access to your ID card. You can view claims, anything like that. You can check into your benefits, and it'll show the different areas here. So grad, international, nursing, all the different areas here.
can you click on the second one, log in to access my ID card? This is the one you're going to want at first, because it creates a username and password, which creates your own account. And once you have your account, you can go in and okay, so this is the page here. You log in. If you already have a login, you just log in. If not, you have to create one, which is this blue box here. So basically, like I said, it's a username and password, and it'll take you into your information, which I can't show you that page because I can't display PHI. But inside, you will have options like print an ID card, change your address, ask for a new card. You can check your claims. If you have any claims, you can see what the EOBs are, their explanation of benefit to see how the claim was processed, what was charged, what the insurance paid, and what you owe. And pretty much that kind of information, which is just basic standard information, but you can get your card here. If you want to request a card, you can, but it's just a plastic coated paper card. It's not, any kind of fancy ID card. So most of the time, just downloading it, keeping it on your phone, or having a paper copy is good for most cases. We're just trying to keep the cost of the insurance down. Now, if you have had this insurance in the past, previous to this fall, and you already have an ID, you say, well, I've got old ID. Well, you need to download a new card because there have been changes to the card, especially the pharmacy. If you go to the pharmacy, they will tell you with an old card you are no longer enrolled, which is not true, but based on the numbers on the card, that's what they will show. So you have to have a new card, not every semester, but at least beginning in the school year in the fall. So you want to go in there and download a card. We have chosen not to have cards sent out because of the cost factor and because of the ease of getting, printouts of your ID card from the website. When you get a welcome email from Wellfleet, they will give you the instructions on how to go in here and get your ID card instead of actually sending cards. So are there any questions on this website about Wellfleet, the insurance company?
There was a question regarding if this is where they would do the waive, and I just said that we'll get to that in a second. But other than that, so far, no other questions.
Okay, this is not where you waive, but we'll get, like
Yeah,
Teresa said,
so
we'll get to that.
next. Yeah.
So if there's no more questions on this, just remember that this site is pretty easy to get to. It's www.studentinsurance.com. So, if you think you might need it frequently, just kind of put that in the back of your mind. So if you're out somewhere and need your card, you can, pretty much go to the site and download it to your phone. Like if you forgot your card and you're out sitting in the doctor's office, The other thing to remember about these cards is the fact that because Wellfleet is not big enough to have their own network, they rent a network from Cigna. Cigna just prices your claims. So when you go to the doctor sends your bill to the insurance company. The insurance company sends it to Cigna, and Cigna prices it. So we're under the Cigna price network, basically. But don't have the provider call Cigna to try and get your benefits and eligibility, because Cigna has no idea who UNLV students are. They just process the claims as they come in. So if you're at a doctor's office, they need to check benefits and eligibility, make sure they call Wellfleet themselves.
Yeah, so your health insurance name, if they ask, would be Wellfleet, not Cigna.
Right, right. So that's a distinction, and it messes up people, a lot. So it's just kind of a, forewarned is forearmed thing. Okay, so if there's
Sorry,
no
can
more
I ask a
questions.
quick question?
Sure.
Sure.
So if I call a doctor's office for some kind of physical or something, and they ask for my insurance, I want to tell them it's Wellfleet, and then I can give them the insurance information off the card.
Yes, but you also want to ask them, do they take Cigna insurance? Because even
Yeah,
though
if the providers are contracted with Cigna, then they should be able to accept your insurance because it's used through the Cigna network.
Right.
Okay, so I'll tell them I have Wellfleet, and then make sure that they take Cigna.
Right, and because they'll process through the Cigna network.
Thank you.
That gives you your preferred provider network, where you get your 80% when you go outside the health center. Now, one little bit on the side of this is when you use your insurance, you have actually several different levels of benefits. When you use it at the student health center, the insurance pays 100% of whatever you have done there, except for medication. You have a $20 copay, but they will pick up all the charges there at the health center. If you have a bunch of labs, as long as it's a UNLV doctor who prescribes the labs for you, they'll pay 100%. If you have a procedure done, they'll pay 100%. You need a walking boot because you messed up your foot, they'll pay 100%. Now, if
And
you
can
are
find
not
your
able,
coverage on the website. It shows your coverage levels.
yeah, it's in the brochure.
Right.
So
So you can
that's just
verify
a
it there.
distinction. Okay, so next slide. Okay, academic health
You
plans.
want to see this.
Well, actually, it's all on the same slide. If you can go there to academic health plans. Academic health plans are our enrollment broker. They just do enrollments. They add people to the insurance. They take people off the insurance when there's a waiver. They send the money that we collect over to the insurance company. They're strictly enrollment. They they're not the insurance company at all. We use them because we don't sell insurance. So we need somebody to handle all that. There's a lot of work to that we don't have the ability to handle. So this is what my HP looks like. And you all are in the top group here. So you want to click here on the top, click here button. And this will take you in to do several things. If you look at the top of the page, there's home, benefits, costs, enrollment, waiver, claims, contact. If you want to do a waiver because you have your insurance and you just got charged, you don't need it, so you come to AHP once you've waited 3 days after you have the charge on your account, and you go to waiver, and that'll take you into the waiver site after okay, the waiver's over. What you will see here when the waiver is open, well, it's actually open till Friday. So let's just go to the mandatory graduate and professional students. Click here to submit your waiver request. It's open for another day. You're going to put your ID and password and what they are. You'll get this in instructions when you are eligible. Your student ID obviously is your entry number, but your password is your birthday. No slashes or dashes, and the two numbers for your month, 2 numbers for your date, and then 4 numbers for your year of birth. So that's how you sign in, and we can't go any farther than that. But what you'll see is a page that says, I have my own insurance, I want to waive, and you click the button and it takes you into the waiver itself. The waiver, you will be putting, you'll first initially be asking a set of questions, which will identify if you even are eligible for the waiver based on those questions. And then you have to upload your ID card. And what happens is they audit every ID insurance request as it goes in. They'll send you a notice saying your information was received. They'll go through it, and usually in about 5 days or maybe sooner or so, they'll give you the response, yes, it's been accepted, or no, it's not accepted because of this reason, and it'll tell you what, and then you have to either fix that or whatever. But once you get an approved waiver, it takes again about another 3 days, and then the money that was either taken from your MyUNL account or is still sitting there will get credited. So when you have a completed waiver, you get that money back if you paid for it, or if it's still sitting there in your account, they'll wipe it off, one of the two. This also is where you're going to go to enroll. I don't know if we can go back a couple. Yeah, right there. If you are not a full-time student and want to enroll in the insurance, you are able to do that as long as you have at least 3 credits. So you would come to the website here. Can you click on that, or no, it's not working?
What am I clicking on?
That's okay. Go back to the top, click here. Just the bottom down here where it says click here. Yeah. So we go back to the top and you want to see the word enroll. So enrollment, you'll click on that. And then that takes you into a choice of what you're wanting to enroll for. And different things will come up here based on what's open to enroll. And again, the enrollment period closes tomorrow. The enrollment and waiver periods are on the same dates. So go ahead and if you would, please click here to enroll.
And just to clarify, Ellen, can you clarify who would actually be enrolling on this site versus who shouldn't?
Sure, good question. If you are not a full-time student and you don't have the fee in your MyUNLV account, but you want the insurance because you're a graduate student and have at least 3 credits, you come here and you can self-enroll. You will go through the process here, put in your information, and then you will pay for the insurance right here at this site. This is also where you're going to add your dependents. If you see right below the click here to enroll under voluntary graduate professional students is click here to enroll your dependents. Now you are only going to enroll your dependents, not yourself in this site. If you are a full-time student and you already have paid for the insurance, you're just going to enroll your dependents and you'll only pay for them here. But if you're a voluntary and you're clicking here to enroll because you're voluntary, then you want to click to add your dependents. I think that they have when you click to enroll, I think they have a question there if you want to add your dependents. So you would do all that. This is all considered voluntary as opposed to mandated by the university, which is what full-time students are mandated. These part-time students are not. So if you are, okay, so there's 2 different here. The bottom one
So
is
it shows it here. If you are in the mandatory and you need to do dependents, obviously you would go here. If you are voluntary for yourself, you would do here. And then also if you have dependents, this is where you would go ahead and do it.
Right. And then at the bottom, international students are also able to click to enroll their dependents. Now, OPT students that's an international student function, which unless you're an international student, it won't apply to you. And that's it for enrolling or waiving. You use this website here. Some of the other categories up there give you the cost of the insurance for the year. And they have many links on their page to like a link to Wellfleet to get your card. So if you end up here and you're looking for your card, you can link over there. They'll link you into the Wellfleet system to do that. There's also a link here for the behavioral care 24/7 nurse hotline or counselor hotline, I guess it would be. So that's included in the links here. It's also included on the Wellfleet site. It's an excellent option for people who may be developing a situation after hours and they need assistance with counseling. This is 24 hours, 24/7. You can get there and talk to someone, and then you'll proceed from there. Either it's just a one-time thing, or if they need to refer you, they'll refer you back to the school or give you resources in the community.
Ellen, we have a couple questions.
Sure.
If someone is a non-degree seeking student for the spring semester who was just admitted, would they be able to enroll?
No, non-degree seeking students are not eligible for the insurance. It's only for enrolled students.
Well, they're enrolled, they're non-degree seeking. So
Oh,
can you clarify
okay,
your
well,
answer, please?
Yes, they're only for full-time graduate program students.
So if I could clarify, I'm for this current spring semester, I am non-degree seeking. I was
Okay.
just admitted, so the next semester I enroll, I will be degree seeking, like a normal student, starting in the summer term. So
Okay,
when would be the next opportunity for me to enroll?
fall, they're
Okay.
enrolled. We have enrollments in the spring and the fall.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew.
So I also got a
Like-
couple of questions in the private chat. So just to clarify, graduate students that are full-time, they're automatically enrolled in the healthcare program, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Also, so a couple of other questions I received was, what should graduate students do for dental care? Does the UNLV Dental School provide free cleanings? And then what's the best option for graduate students to receive eye care?
Well, there's a very small discount plan, vision plan attached to this. And you can also catch that on the Wellfleet site under value added services. It's a discount plan, so it's not insurance. You can get maybe 10 to 20% off on exams and or contacts and lenses. And they have a list of providers that you would call. They have it spelled out. You might be able to find them at the top of the screen under products. Sure if it's up there or not. But then
Yeah,
the
so
dental plan,
you can, yeah, like Ellen said, you can find those discount plans here on this site. In regards to the dental school, I would contact them directly for information. They are separate from student wellness. I don't have the specific details. We don't have that information for you.
right,
at
but
this
they're not
time.
connected to this plan, unfortunately. But as far as the dental, there is a very small, again, discount dental plan offered. It's like $7 a year. It's like, so you know it's really small, but again, it gives you discounts off of dental care.
Thank you. So I got another.
There was a question. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I-
So there was
I-
a question as to find your coverage. This is where you would do it. So you would go to which insurance graduate you are, and then you have your benefits at a glance. And so you would go, and the question was about um, identifying the coverage benefits of your insurance. Go ahead, Ravina, sorry.
Right, there's a brochure, a pretty extensive brochure, 40 some odd pages that lists everything.
So our next question was a bit more specific to this student, but they are asking about the process of signing on to UNLV Health Insurance if the student, are aging off of their parents' healthcare plans. They're turning 26 in early March and in the process of figuring out what their options are for insurance going forward during their time in graduate school. So they're curious about what is the process and general timeline for opting in to UNLV insurance, and B, how does UNLV's insurance compare to other plans such as those offered through the Nevada Affordable Care Act portal?
Okay, well, if you lose coverage for any reason in between the periods that we have enrollment, you can be added to the plan in what's considered a life-changing event. So you would go to AHP's site because they do the enrollment, and there is a link under the enrollment for just for this. I don't know if you can pull up AHP again.
Yeah, and I would say if you have very specific questions like this is something Ellen can assist you with. Maybe if you can set something up with her directly so she can walk you through specifically so that we can, we want to kind of provide the general information. But this way, like I said, a lot of it is here as well. But if you have very specific more detailed areas too, she can always help you with that. Let me see if we can find that though. But you definitely are able to do that, correct, Ellen?
Yes, any time that you lose your insurance, you have, I think it's up to 60 days, but I'm not positive on that number of days, to go to any insurance and join it because you have lost coverage. Go up to enrollment, please. And that's very common, having students aging off their parents' plans. So keep going down. I think there's a separate category for it. Oh, there's your add-on services right there, but they added those. Students with a qualifying life event, that's what it's called. And so if you are coming off your plan in March, you want to come here to click if you want to enroll in it, and they can enroll you. You'll choose the date, I guess. It would be like if it's March 1st or if it's April 1st or whenever, and they'll work up a monthly plan for you, monthly rate, and charge you that. So in other words, they're not going to charge you the whole semester if you come in halfway, which is something that we've had to fight for.
Yeah, so it'll be prorated. So
Yeah.
this is where you would go under the qualifying life event.
Yep. And if you look down
Any
below
other
the add-on
questions,
coverage
Naveen?
option. I'm sorry.
Navina, were there any other questions on your end?
No, not right now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, just contact me if you have any questions.
Yeah, so here's the email that you can send your email inquiries to. It's the insurancewaiver.grads@unlv.edu. You can call this number, or you can call the health center's main line as well. You can find all that information online.
Sorry,
That's
actually, I
my
do have
direct
one
line.
more question for you guys if you still have the time. I don't mean to keep you longer, but I do have one
Sure.
question.
So-
It's related to students who have to, for example, if people who have UNLV student health insurance. There's a friend of mine who has clinicals, and they have to handle those clinicals up in Reno. It's still affiliated with UNLV, but that's where most of his activities are going to be happening. For that particular student, typically right now they would usually use the student rec center, but where would they go to get health care up in Reno and not be charged a hefty fee for any kind of health care that they get outside of the rec center?
Basically, any provider that's contracted with Cigna. So again, the insurance is Wellfleet, and so anyone that's contracted in the Cigna network, you can use that insurance there.
And does
Does
that
he
work
have
if
student
they have
health
to go out of
insurance?
state? Yes, he
I'm
does.
sorry?
He has the student health. He has student health insurance. And does that work if he has
Right.
to go out of state, like over to
Yes.
California?
It's good
Yeah.
all
So
throughout the country.
yeah, as long as it's a Cigna network provider contracted.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you, guys. Sorry for the last minute question.
No, so now if they use this health center at UNR, it's not the same benefits if they are to use it at UNLV. And because he's not actually a UNR student, right? So that's something different.
Right.
This is going to outside providers outside of the university.
So he needs to make sure they're within the network then.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we had another question kind of to follow up on that one. It's asking if you're going to go somewhere off campus, is there typically a copay or a deductible?
You have an annual deductible of $250. You have copays of $25 when you go outside to see a provider. That will come around and be credited to your 20% when the doctor
And that's
bills
the
you.
in-network rate. If you go to a provider that's not contracted, then your coverage rates would be under non-contracted rates, which are,
Right,
obviously
50%.
like all insurance is significantly higher. Yeah.
Right,
Does
50%.
the $25 copay go towards the $250 deductible?
No, it doesn't go towards the deductible, but it goes towards your 20%. When you go to the doctor, they're only going to pay 80% of the discounted price. So whatever that 20% is, when the doctor goes to bill you that 20% that the insurance didn't pay, then they're going to take into consideration you've already given them $25. So whatever you owe for your 20% will be less the $25 you've already given them.
Got it. And is it up to a maximum for the year? What's the maximum for the year that you would pay out of pocket?
The out-of-pocket maximum is $3,750.
Okay, great. Sorry. Thank you, Ellen.
Okay.
So
Thank
if someone has student insurance right now, but they're living out of town, do they have like prescription coverage?
Yes, at any of the
Yeah.
pharmacies, most of the pharmacies, Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, most of those are throughout the country and they can use it.
And another question I got was, are these student wellness checks at the Student Health and Wellness Center only available to students who are under the UNLV student health insurance, or can those who have the waiver and have other insurance still get those wellness checks at the health center at UNLV?
So
So what,
yeah, so we'll discuss it in a little bit. We're not done with the presentation yet. We're gonna go over our services. But basically at the health center, your visits, all office visits are covered by the health fee. So there's the health insurance, right? Student health insurance and the student health fee, and those are two separate things. The student health fee is what covers your office visits at the health center for either counseling or medical office visits. Now, if there is a fee for other services, let's say you need lab work or a procedure done, that will be covered by the student health insurance. If you do not have the student health insurances, then those fees will be out of pocket. We do not accept third-party insurance at the health center. But office visits are all covered by your health fee itself.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any more insurance questions? All right. And if you do, we can just add them to the chat and we'll address them at the end. So what we're going to do now is just kind of go over the services. So we have the student health services first, where we do treatment of injuries and illnesses and much more. And Courtney's going to go ahead and take on over.
Hello, my name is Courtney. I'm one of the registered nurses at the clinic. We do a lot of stuff here. A lot of people don't know about our services. We get people all the time in their 4th year who say, I didn't know you guys existed, so I'm glad we're doing this. We do annual physicals. Right now with COVID, just give us a call to see what things we're actually doing at this point. We've had to decrease our services a little bit, change them up a little. But normally we do annual physicals. We can do STD testing, pap smears, birth control starts. We do lots of, if you fall on your scooter, then we can do some triage treatment with you, or if you need to see, we have a sports medicine doctor here. We have a couple of them actually, and so they can do, they deal specifically with those kind of injuries, but all of our practitioners can order radiology and do assessments and order medications for anything like that. We also can refer out. So if you need things like endocrinology, neurology, if you need an OBGYN, because we do have a GYN in-house as well. But at our clinic, he doesn't do OBGYN. He just does GYN. So colposcopies, IUD, Nexplanon, all of that good stuff. We can refer to physical therapy and outside psychological services if you need a little more assistance in what CAPS can do. We do not do ADHD testing here. And we do not do ADHD treatment without a test. So you will have to go to, we usually refer people to the practice. So you'll need to go somewhere else to get that testing, and then you bring back your results and we can, supply you with the medication you need. We also do not do emotional support animals or service animal paperwork. That also needs to be done outside of our clinic. And like we were talking about, we don't have an optometrist or ophthalmologist on staff, but we can refer you out, or there's a lot of places that you can utilize your insurance. I mean, like Ellen said, it's a discount for that. We also can do physicals. We have a lab in-house, so any lab draws you need, we can speak directly with the lab, because some things do need to be sent out to a lab like Quest. But we also can do Oh, perfect. Thank you, Teresa. I was going to answer that next. So yeah, we have our website that lists all of our services that we normally do. But again, if you have any questions, just give us a call, because some things we're doing a little more than others. Because right now we're not doing routine physicals unless it's needed for a program. We can also do cryotherapy and biopsies of things. We can do breast exams. And we also do immunizations. We have a lot of immunizations. If you have any questions about what exactly we have, they are online, or you can give us a call. But we have all of the immunizations required for programs. So hepatitis, Tdap, MMR, meningitis, all those shots that you would need for a program. We do TB tests here. We just do not do them on Thursdays because we're closed on the weekend. And you have to come back for your reading. So we're closed during the reading time. And we have a pharmacy in-house, and we are also doing telehealth services. So if you call us, we'll kind of triage you and determine whether you need a telehealth or if you do need to come in for an in-office visit. We do, I don't want to say dermatology work, but we do a lot of skin work. And if, of course, we need to refer you to a dermatologist, we can do that. But we can look at rashes, we can look at lumps, ear pain, any of that good stuff. And we currently are not offering walk-in services. Normally we do, but with COVID, you do have to call and make an appointment. And again, we'll triage you to the appropriate level of what we believe you need. And that's it. I don't know if anybody has any questions about the services we offer, but again, it's all online. And we offer a lot of services here that people don't usually know about. So if you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call, or you can ask me right now. Yeah, so so the question here is, what types of lab physical tests can a student request? So we have a lot of labs here. We can do CMP, CBC, lipid levels, thyroid check. We can do all of the STD testing, gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia, HIV. We have a lot of lab work that you can request. Again, right now, because of COVID, we're not doing any routine lab work or physicals, only if you're symptomatic. So say that you're, really fatigued and you feel your thyroid is larger than normal, then you give us a call, we'll bring you in, assess your thyroid, we can order thyroid tests. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question, Megan? Or I'm sorry, Medina. And then it's so offer free of charge. That depends on if you have the insurance. So again, like Teresa was talking about, the student health fee gives you the office visit. So let's say you just come in and you have, let's say you have a lump in your breast. And so we do an exam. The exam would be free because you paid the student health fee. But then let's say we have to refer you out for radiology, then you would have to do the 80/20. If you have the insurance, and let's say we want to draw labs for that, then that would all be covered because you have the student health insurance. Is there any yearly checkup lab work available that includes many tests? So if we do lab work, or if we do like a physical, you can request, hey, I want my physical lab work done, and usually that will include a CMP, a CBC, lipid levels, and then if you're having any additional issues, they can add like a thyroid test or something like that. So there are a few, and then if you come in, let's say that you have, issues with STI, you're having abnormal penile or vaginal discharge, then we can test you for, the provider will assess what they think that you're most at risk for, but they can test for, the whole group of them, especially if you have the insurance, then all of that testing would be free. Covered. I shouldn't say free because you pay for the insurance, but it would be covered. Yeah. Any other questions? So there is not a specific list on our website of all tests, but you're welcome to call us. at our main number, and they'll transfer you up to us, and we can give you specific information about what tests, what lab tests we offer here. But unfortunately, there's not on our main page an entire list because we do a lot of tests. So just give us a call if you have any specific questions. You're welcome. I don't know. I think that's privately. Sorry. She said thank you. You're welcome to everyone. Any other questions about the services? We do a lot of stuff here. So if you have any specific questions, just let me know or give us a call.
Thanks, Courtney. Okay. All right. So also available at the Wellness Center, we do have counseling and psychological services. To address any emotional and psychological wellness needs. I'm not a counselor or psychologist, but I'm just gonna discuss with you a general idea of what coverages are available. And this is our team, we call it CAPS, Counseling and Psychological Services. And then here you can see that they do have social media, and so you can follow them for up-to-date information, and it's at UNLV CAPS. And basically, here's the information as to what their goal is, to help students increase self-understanding and learn life management skills. So we have psychologists, counselors, full-time psychiatrists on staff. Short-term, individual, couples, and group counseling sessions are available. Again, there's no official charge for visits because this is a service covered by your health fee. Now, if there is required medications or anything like that required, then that would be out of pocket. Or if you have the student health insurance, then we would bill through your insurance. Just like everything done, it's strictly confidential services. And nothing is shared, whether it be medical or counseling is not shared except in an emergency or upon written consent. These are their services. Again, they do brief counseling, individuals, groups, couples, session consultations, medication management, psycho educational workshops, crisis services, and consultation. The facility they're offering is Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, Fridays, 9 to 5, and that's the same for the health center. It's mainly telehealth services, but just you can go ahead. This is their direct line here, but again, you can always call the main number when in doubt, and we can always get you to this counseling center. Currently, there is no after-hours services. If there is an urgent situation and you are on campus, we do triage walk-ins for that situation. So as I mentioned, services are primarily remote, which like the health center starts with the phone screen. And if they're referred in, your therapy is conducted via telehealth and it's phone or video. And again, for urgent services, we always have a triage counselor from Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Any questions for counseling? They do have their own website as well. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat in just a bit. All right, and as part of the student wellness unit, we do have, I do see a question here. So for the group counseling, they have different types of group sessions. All that information is available on their website. I believe every semester it changes. So like I said, I'll put the website in the chat, and that way you can take a look and go from there. And then if you have any questions ever inquiring as to what's available at the moment, you can always contact them directly. You're welcome. And so we do have other services. I'm not going to go into these into detail, but the information is here on the presentation for reference. So we have health education, which is through the Wellness Zone and Healthy Rebel Peer Educators. And here's just, I'm not going to read it for you, but this is just kind of a brief overview of the other areas in student wellness. And then we also have student conduct. They're responsible for decision making and conflict resolution. The G Nidich Care Center, again, they do with campus anti-violence advocacy, resources, and empowerment. And the Disability Resource Center. And providing equal access to academic programs and services for students who are experiencing disabilities, temporary injuries, pregnancy, and other concerns related to Title IX. And the last service that we are offered is our support team. And the team, this team is supporting UNLV students in distress, sorry. Okay, so that's all we have for now. Open for more questions. I do have a question here. Is there a way to request a new insurance card to be mailed to you? Yes, you would do that on either the Wellfleet site or the AHP site that we had mentioned earlier. And like Ellen mentioned, you can actually just, if you wanted to, you can just keep a digital file, download it on your phone, or you can print it and have a copy of it. But if you want the actual card, you can request it on site, online.
And if you need more help with that, just let me know. I can walk you through the steps.
If you all have any more questions, either go ahead and type them in the chat, or you can go ahead and unmute yourself if you'd like. We did have someone ask if they're able to get a copy of the PowerPoint. Are we able to share that with the participants today?
Yes, I'll get that to you, Navina.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, if we don't have any more questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But before we do, thank you so much, Ellen, Teresa, and Courtney, for sharing your time with us and answering all of our questions. We really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Before you log off, if you can please just take a minute to fill out our feedback survey. This helps us with our workshops, making them better, and lets us know what else we can provide for you all. So if you just want to click on that before you all log off, we would appreciate it. But other than that, thank you all so much again for joining us, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, thanks, everyone.